Bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum 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 bum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum. Hello, good morning. Welcome to yet another fantastic, amazing episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. It is I, your host, PoGoKero. Yes, hello, good morning. Hey, check out my new shirt, dude. Check out this shirt. Isn't this shirt awesome? It's 3 syringes. 3 syringes. It's telling you, get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. You want to get vaccinated because if you get vaccinated, you won't die. And that's a big thing, right? If you want to stay here hanging out with the rest of us, number one thing, don't die. Don't die. If you want to hang out with the rest of us, don't die. And I mean, it's cool, right? It's great to be here. It's great to be here. It's great to be here. So you want to hang out with the rest of us. So you want to take your vaccine so you don't die, because it's not fun when you die. Like, the Buddhists will tell you that you can respawn, but when you respawn, you don't necessarily respawn back into a human body. So, like, this being a human is almost like a prestige class. like it's pretty special to be human, especially at this time, right? Like at this time, like, who knows if you respawn, when you, like, if you come back, when you'll come back, and when you come back, what you'll come back as. I mean, it's a big gamble. It's a big risk. Like, it's better just to hang out with the rest of us and take your vaccine so you don't die. Like, the whole point is to not die. And the best way to not die is to take your vaccine. All right. So there's that, right? Now, in terms of Minecraft, I really haven't done much of anything. Like, I really haven't done anything. I kind of got burned out with that massive upgrade from the last time. It burned me out because there was a lot to repair. But here, now I'm trying to make space. I'm trying, because you can't really do anything unless you have the space for it. So I've lit up like an area around my base that isn't overwhelmed by trees. And I think I can make a little, I can make like a sheep wool farm right here. A wool farm, and maybe like, I don't know, something else right here. I'm afraid of making a mob farm because they're looking at changing the spawning rules. Like, everything's gonna change in 1.18, and no one realizes it. Well, maybe they do realize it, but like, it makes me not want to do anything too crazy because I'm just gonna have to do it again in the next place. But I guess, you know, it's not really it's not really the destination, it's the journey that matters. So like, it's okay. And I'm worried, right? I'm looking at my Twitch stream here and I don't see nothing. It's like not even moving. So I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. Okay. So I don't have anything really to show you. But I wanted to like clear this area out to make it so I could expand my base. And this building is like not really that aesthetically pleasing. It's a big square. So I can probably try to work on making this building look a little prettier. I'm not really sure how. But I just really want to expand it. So I think once I expand it, I'll understand how better to do it. But to do that, I need to get this jail out of the way. And I have 2 guys in there that I have yet to cure. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? I have 2 guys in there that I have yet to cure. And I can't, like, I don't want to just kill them, but I can't leave them here. So I'm going to trick them to fall down a hole. All right, come on, buddy. There's a hole right here, right? It's my old iron farm hole, and he thinks those trapdoors are solid blocks. So he's falling down the hole. Okay, that worked out pretty easy. Just do that again. Hey, buddy. There you go. I'll get around to cleaning you eventually. The problem is, I don't want to do it up here because it will interfere with the iron farm and my own work stuff over here. I've already got workstations set up. So if I cure them, they're gonna instantly grab onto these workstations, and then I can't use them. So I have to move them far away from my base, and that's a idiosyncrasy of Bedrock. It's not like this in Java. I was able to make my whole base, almost my whole base, not the gold farm, but almost my whole base on one tiny little island with maybe 6 chunks. In Java, but I can't do that in Bedrock. But it's okay. You know, everything has its own idiosyncrasies. Idiosyncraticness. Whatever. The other thing I worked on was, I have to say, this world is not nearly as developed as my Java world. Just because I don't have any of the infrastructure in place. But this time it's a lot harder. The rules have changed. Everything about Minecraft has changed. So it's just really hard to do now. So I started making space up here. But to do this, I have to destroy my minecart station. I don't want to yet. And then I'm like, oh, I should check out what's down there. But it's scary. Let me tell you. Let me go show you, right? Let's go look. It's scary down here. Oop. Yeah, this is not real. I haven't fixed it yet. I have to fix this. Okay, here we go. All right, I made a little janky base. It's like a terrible base. But it's scary here. There's monsters everywhere that will kill me, and they will kill me. And it's not even real. Okay, so the problem is multifold. I got these wither skeletons who will put a poison on me, and also hides my health, so I can't see how much health I have left. So that's dangerous. But I need it dark so they spawn. Oh no, and then there's these guys. Oh. See, I got hit by the wither skeleton. And then you have these flying guys who can shoot you from far away, and they're really good aim. And look at my health already, it's half health. It's so dangerous to be here. Everything wants to kill you in the nether. But I have to go here in order to get resources. I need blue wood and red wood, and I don't see any red areas to get red wood. So that means I have to go exploring. Oh wait, maybe that is over there. Anyways, I have to go exploring. And also, I can't see anything. So this is for later. This is for hardcore time. I'm not ready to play hardcore. Let's run away back home. All right. That's about all the work I did. That's, and then what else? I think that's it. I didn't even make any changes at Resurrection Base. Oh yeah, I did. I made a little bit of a change. I improved the train station, or because it was in the way. That's it. I just put the train station up here. I have one golem back there. Another golem back here. So that should stop them from killing me. I got all my priests hanging out. I got all my librarians hanging out. I got all my workers hanging out. And I don't really think I need any more guys. So I'm wondering if I should just change this into something else. And I was thinking to make this into an auto smelter. Because I need a lot of glass. I'm out of glass. I've been using a lot of glass. And I have none. So the only way to make glass is to dig up sand and then melt it in a smelter or in a furnace. And then you get glass. But I need a lot of glass, or a lot of sand and a lot of smelting. So I have to build something to do this. And then, yeah, the village breeder works great. I've got to build a rail line out to the village out here. I haven't done this yet, right? I'm a little burned out. I'm sorry. But this village, perfectly fine village, just no one lives here anymore. I don't know why. Everyone disappeared. Yeah, everyone disappeared. I don't know. I got to repopulate this village. So that'll be done. Okay, so let's talk about like what's going on in the world. Like, I'm so tired. I was thinking, hey, I need to go on a vacation. And I'm like, where am I going to go? Go to my parents' house, but they're in Nevada, and Nevada is choking under smoke, like under wildfire smoke. So if I go there, I'll just like have like asthma attacks all the time. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. So like, I'm just like hanging out. Okay. What did I find? I found a few things. I found where'd it go? Mark, this guy. I have to like turn it this way. Okay. Mark. Oh, now I can't see my thing. Damn it. I can't win. Mark Bernier is an anti-vax and anti-mask, like COVID truther person. He has a radio show, very successful person. He talks to the white male conservative, and he's telling them back in a while ago. Last year he told them, hey, get this, everybody. MIT biologist says fear-mongering on coronavirus will go down as the biggest fraud to manipulate economies. So this is like a year ago he's saying this. Then he's saying that the vaccines are killing people, but it didn't. And his very last tweet back in about a month ago, exactly 1 month from today, his last tweet says, should say, now the U.S. government is acting like Nazis, get the shot. He's insinuating that the U.S. government is forcing people to get the vaccination, right? It's a lie, but he's you know, that's his job, is to inflame the conservative people. That's what he's doing. And so he's inflaming conservative people by insinuating that insinuating the vaccine is akin to fascism. That was a month ago. After 3 weeks COVID-19 battle, Daytona Beach talk radio host Mark Bernier dies. This guy who spent a year talking shit about the COVID vaccination died of COVID. Okay. And then who's this other guy? Staunch anti-mask freedom fighter Caleb Wallace, who demanded end of COVID tyranny, has died at age 30. He self-treated himself with ivermectin. He had proclaimed COVID-19 is perfectly fine to live with, quote, quote. He leaves behind 3 kids and a pregnant wife. So he treated himself with ivermectin. Ivermectin. Well, what do the makers of ivermectin have to say about using ivermectin to treat for COVID? So Merrick is the company that makes ivermectin, and they released in February, affirmed its position regarding the use of ivermectin during the COVID-19 pandemic. Company's scientists continued to carefully examine the findings of all available and emerging studies of ivermectin for the treatment of COVID-19 for evidence of efficacy and safety. It is important to note that to date, our analysis has identified no scientific basis for potential therapeutic effect against COVID-19 from preclinical studies. No meaningful evidence for clinical activity or clinical efficacy in patients with COVID-19 disease, and a concerning lack of safety data in the majority of studies. We, the makers of ivermectin, do not believe that the data available support the safety and efficacy of ivermectin beyond the doses and populations indicated. Populations. Ivermectin is meant for horses. Ivermectin is a dewormer for horses. If you have worms in your intestinal tract, because horses have they don't eat meat. They eat cud and they eat grass. So I think they have 4 stomachs. They have a bunch of stomachs, and sometimes they get worms, and so you have to get rid of those worms. So you have to take horse medicine to get rid of worms in the horse digestive tract, right? The makers of this medicine for horses do not believe that the medicine meant for horses is going to work for anything except for horses. The populations indicated. What populations are indicated? Horses. But this guy Caleb, thought he was smarter than the makers of ivermectin. He thought he was smarter than the people who made ivermectin. And he took ivermectin to treat COVID-19. So ivermectin is meant for horses who eat only plants and have 4 stomachs and have worms particular to those kind of animals that eat grass, right? Okay, that's ivermectin. COVID-19 is a virus. It's not a worm, it's a virus that infects human lungs. Well, infects the whole human system, really, but primarily the lungs. That's the first way it kills humans. It infects the lungs, it kills all the tissue in the lungs, and then it just sits there and necroses. And then sepsis kicks in. And then and you can't breathe anymore, right? Because you have no lung tissue anymore, and there's all this fluid in there, all this crap. So none of your lungs work anymore because they're all inflamed. This guy thought he was smarter than the makers of the horse dewormer medicine. And he took horse dewormer medicine against the advice of the makers of the horse dewormer medicine to treat. He took horse dewormer medicine targeting his intestinal tract to treat a virus infecting his lungs. Why would he even think that? What would cause him to ignore his doctors, the makers of the medicine, all the evidence, the government, all the people who are not dead? How could you ignore all of that and poison yourself until you die? I mean, do you not love your children? Because who's going to take care of your kids, dude? Who's going to take care of your kids? Your kids were for you. You were supposed to to raise them up and give them all of your knowledge and expertise, everything you learned, everything your fathers and your mothers taught you, you were supposed to pass on to your kids, man. And now you can't because you thought you were smarter than all these other people. Maybe you didn't think you were smarter. Maybe you got tricked. I'm pretty sure you got tricked. Like, I feel bad for you. I feel bad. Like, I want to get angry at you, but it would be worthless because you got tricked. Oh, hey, now I see why everyone died. Because zombies spawn. And in hard mode, zombies can break down wooden doors. And all these dudes have wooden doors. So yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I gotta. So that's the other thing. In the next update, torches get a massive buff. Before, like, look at this. Look at this nonsense, right? Look at all those torches. Because they only stop spawning in an area about that big, real tiny. The torches are weak as hell. So in the next update, 1.18, the torches become like twice, 3 times as powerful. So one torch will cover a huge area, and I don't need to spam torches everywhere to stop monsters from spawning. Like right here, monsters will spawn. Like So I'm waiting for the next update. Everything's going to change with the next update. Next update is going to be huge change in the next update. But yeah, that guy got tricked. He got confused so much that he no longer could discern what is true and what is false. He gave up on truth. And so he went with whatever felt the truest to him. But what feels the truest to people? Those things they already believe. You already believe it. Of course it's going to feel good. If you get something that reaffirms what you already believe, you already believe it. If something comes down and says, hey, that thing you believe, totally wrong. I have all this evidence. Totally wrong. It's real hard for you to like let go of your belief and pick up all these things and go, oh, that thing I thought was true. Oh, I'll just let go of it. For humans, that's real hard. That's real hard. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. It's real hard for humans to let go of things they already have in their head. It's like the idea like digs in and becomes part of them. But it really isn't. But it does. Because with this idea, you start acting with it and it becomes literally part of your encoded history. And you can't go back and change it. You can't take it out. You can't go back and go, all right, this idea was a bad thing. Let me just rip this idea out of history. Nope, it's there forever. That idea is there forever. So yeah, it's hard, even for present day humans, to be like, oh, this thing that's been attached to me, and I can look back through history and see the long worm of this idea attached to me. Now I learned it's wrong. It's hard for me to be like, rip off and then put it aside. And then pick up a new idea and stick it there instead. It's hard. It's hard. A lot of people don't know how to do it. Or if they do it, it's only partially. It's like part way. Like a piece of the old idea still sticks to them. It's hard to purge ideas. So what's happened is that guy gave up on the concept of truth. And went with whatever felt the truest to him. And what felt truest to him was taking horse dewormer medicine. Why would he think that would be the best? What told him? What would have given him that kind of information where he would decide that horse dewormer medicine is the best bet? Well, I'm sure his brain was was his Facebook feed was filled with disinformation, with lies about COVID, and about the vaccine, about the virus, about everything. Everything was surrounded by lies. Look at the dude who died, Mark Bernier. Dude has a radio show. He talks to not hundreds of thousands, but at least thousands and thousands of people with his radio show. And if it's his job, if he's making money doing it, he's talking to thousands of people and influencing them and telling them lies. It's hard for me to blame Caleb, right? He's listening to this radio show guy telling him lies over and over again. And if you've given up on truth, and you have this charismatic guy on the radio with a nice radio voice telling you all the things you want to hear, it's kind of a feedback loop, you see? It's hard to get out of that. It's hard to escape. But you got to do it anyways, because if you don't, you will die, and you will leave behind your kids, and they will have no one to take care of them. You will leave it on your wife. I mean, do you hate your wife? Do you want to burden your wife with that kind of thing? Think how important and hard it is to raise children. Think of all the knowledge that your forefathers wanted to impart upon your grandchildren. Think of it. Think of all the knowledge that your father wants to give to their grandchildren through you. And now you're going to give that to your wife to do by herself? Man, that's hard. This is bigger than just you. It's like a selfish thing to make a decision. Like even if you believe, even if like you thought it was all bunk, the possibility that you would leave, that you could burden your wife or your partner, not just your wife, but whoever your partner is, that you would burden your partner with rearing your children, teaching your children on their own. Oh, that's harsh, man. Think of your partner. If not your kids, think of your partner. And I'm doing this, and I probably shouldn't, but I want you to get vaxxed. This shirt I bought because it supports Virginia Garcia Memorial Health Centers, who help the Latino population in Oregon. So I'm yeah, dude, healthcare professionals are overburdened right now because people like Caleb and Mark Bernier are not taking basic common sense precautions. They're not taking basic common sense precautions, and they're creating all this extra work for healthcare professionals. So yeah, dude, I bought this shirt to support healthcare professionals in Virginia Garcia healthcare centers and to encourage my fellow Americans to get vaccinated and to be anti-fascist, because fuck Nazis. Nazis will confuse Americans so they die. And here, let me give you an example of this. So currently I'm on a kind of a kick. I'm on a kick lately. I've been doing this in a bit. There's this group. It's a white supremacist group, but it wears the disguise. It puts on the labels of religion. And by wearing the labels of religion, it disguises itself. Remember, it's about white supremacy. The primary function of this group is white supremacy, but it wears labels to hide the fact that it's about white supremacy. This group calls itself the Church at Planned Parenthood. And it uses the label of Christian to say what it is. That's the group it's trying to trick. Those are the people it's trying to trick. But this group is not about Christianity. It's about white supremacy. Let me show you how I know this. So, this pastor is Ken Peters. This guy says he's supposed to be a follower of Jesus, but he doesn't actually follow anything Jesus says. I talked to him about Matthew 6, which tells you don't be like the hypocrites who stand on the street corners praying to be seen by others. Jesus tells you don't be like them. What does Ken Peters' group do? What do? They stand on the corner of Coral Avenue Northeast and Wolverine Street to pray, to be seen by others. Exactly the thing Jesus says not to do. But Pastor Ken Peters has told me that he went to theology school, so he has a special understanding that he won't share with anyone else. And with his special understanding, he can reinterpret the words of Jesus to say whatever he wants. So he'll point to Peter in Acts and says, oh, look, Peter says it's okay to pray in public. Therefore, it doesn't matter what Jesus says. Okay, dude, I see what you're about. So then he's coming over here, right? He's a pastor. He's talking about Jesus. For some reason, he's talking about General Miley. And he specifically talks about white rage. Why would a pastor be interested in white rage? You're in a church, dude. What's that got to do with, what do generals and domestic and ethno-nationalistic domestic terrorism have to do with teachings of Jesus? What I don't understand. And you say General Miley said he wanted to understand white rage. I think I'm starting to get it. Oh, that's pretty cool, Ken Peters. Why don't you share it with the rest of us? No. I asked him to, and he won't do it. Then his buddy jumps in and says, oh yeah, hey, Ken Peters, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I know what you mean. I'm white, and I'm raging, and I am raging made mad right now. And so I asked them, can you explain it? Can you share with us what they're talking about? Can you do it? What is this white rage? They will never do it. They because they're not talking to me. They don't talk to Americans. They're not talking to Americans. They're talking to each other. What they're doing is called a dog whistle. This is a dog whistle. Dog whistle. Not like okay, so you know what a dog whistle is like nominally. Nominally, a dog whistle is a whistle you blow with a frequency so high humans can't hear it, but dogs can hear it, and so they'll perk up, and you can train them to respond to when you blow on the dog whistle that no one else can hear, but the dog will hear. Okay, did I keep? I should have I bet you it's there. Hold on, let me see. It's on my Twitter, dude. I marked this down. There it is. Okay, here. Midweek Pirate 4. Oh, here, like that. Okay. Bop. Okay, check this out. Oh, I'm so good. All right, I'll come back to you, dude. So what is a dog whistle? A dog in politics. A dog whistle is the use of coded or suggestive language in political messaging to garner support from a particular group without provoking opposition. He's not talking to all Americans. He's talking to a particular subset of Americans. Okay? And he wants to do it without provoking opposition. So the concept is named for an ultrasonic dog whistles used in sheep herding. Accusations of dog whistling are, by their nature, hard to prove and may be false. And that's the whole point. Nazis love plausible deniability. By using plausible deniability, they can say, I didn't mean that. It's just a joke, bro. Right? That's what it is. Plausible deniability allows them to deny what is obvious to everyone else. And they want that, right? Because they don't want people to see them as being Nazis. They want to hide. They need to hide. They are generally used to convey messages on issues likely to provoke controversy, such as without attracting negative attention. So what's going on here is Pastor Ken Peters wants to signal to white racists that he too is a white racist. That's what the dog whistling is about. He's saying, hey, white racists, it's a message not to all Americans, it's only to white racists. If it were to all Americans, he can answer my question. But he's not talking to me. He's talking to the people who already know what he's talking about, right? To other dogs. He's whistling to other dogs. And here's a dog responding to his dog whistle. So he's saying, I hear your dog whistle, racist. I'm a racist too, right? We're both racists. And I'm like, hey, dudes, why don't you explain right rage? But they ignore me because they're not talking to me. They're talking to a particular group. And that particular group is white racists. That's because Ken Peters is a racist group. The point of his group is white supremacy. He nominally says it's about abortions, but if it were about abortions, he would be protesting at churches, or not at churches, at hospitals where they do abortions. But he doesn't do that because if he does that, he won't be seen. His point is to attack poor women, and poor women tend to be minorities because poverty is concentrated in minorities. So remember, Ken is a white supremacist group attacking poor minority women, disguising themselves in the language of religion. But when you poke at their justification of religion, it all falls apart right away, and you see what they're about. When you try to engage them, they will ignore you because we're on the out group. We're Americans, right? Multiracial democracy. We're outside of their group. They're white supremacists. They're only interested in other white supremacists. That's all they're talking about. That's all they're talking to. They won't talk to me. They'll talk to each other, though. And when they do talk to me, they'll put on a mask. Oh, howdy, friend. How can I help you? I mean, not quite like that, but you know what I mean. So, yeah. Beware. So here's Pastor Ken Peters. Remember, these guys he is in a white supremacist group. So Ken Peters, remember, is anti-vax and he's anti-mask. He's pro-COVID. And he wants people to die because he's saying, oh, pie in the sky, you should be looking at the next life, not this life. Because in this life, Ken Peters wants to con the flock. He wants to fleece the flock in this life by promising them eternal salvation in the next life. So, it's the same thing that the church did in the Middle Ages to the peasants, right? The peasants couldn't read the Bible, so they couldn't know what Jesus said. So they had to go through the church, and the church said, "Oh, by the way, God gave the divine right to the king. So the king, whatever the king does, is by God, by definition, good. By God, if the king does it, it's because God wanted it, by definition." So peasants are like, okay, well, the king comes down, he'll rape your daughter, he'll take almost all your crops until you die, until you have almost nothing left. And then he'll if you try to say anything, he'll kill you or punish you, right? Because you can't say anything because he's the king, right? They want to go back to that. That's exactly the kind of thing that Ken Peters wants to go back to. Exactly that. And if the peasants, they can't do anything because the church says, oh, you can't, you must suffer in this life because your reward will be in the next life. So for now, eat shit. Let the king rape your daughters. Let the king take all your food so you starve. Don't talk shit about the king. Just eat the shit. Just suffer. And in the next life, you'll be rewarded. This life, let the king take everything and give all your stuff to the church and suffer now because the next life you'll be okay. That's what Ken's doing right here. That's what he's doing right here. So he's telling his people, don't worry about it so much because your reward's coming in the next life. That's why he says to die is to gain for the Christian, and he calls himself Christian. So he's a death cult. It's about white supremacy. White supremacy is a death cult. So what is the thing, well, okay, the thing that Ken Peters worships is white supremacy. But what is that? It is Moloch. Moloch. Who is Moloch? Oh, wait, you can't see that. That didn't even work, did it? Did that pop up? No, you can't see that. Open with. In friend view. Moloch. This is Moloch. That is the idol that Ken Peters worships. So Moloch, right, appeared in the Hebrew Bible, but what he deals with, what Moloch wants is child sacrifice. That's what Moloch wants. It's all about child sacrifice. So Moloch has been figuratively used in reference to a person or a thing which demands or requires a very costly sacrifice. So historically, the way you worship Moloch, you sacrifice to Moloch, is you kill children. Historically, you kill children. So Ken Peters, remember, is anti-vax and he is anti-mask. And he supports sending children back to schools without any protections. So in many ways, Ken Peters is providing sacrifices to Moloch. He's sacrificing children to the disease for Moloch. He doesn't follow Jesus. He clads himself in the words of Jesus, but he doesn't follow it. Because if you look at the words of Jesus and hold them to it, he like disappears. He evaporates into his white supremacy group. That whole group is about white supremacy. So let me get this straight. Republican legislators want to arm teachers to protect students from school shooters, but don't want teachers to wear masks to protect students from a deadly virus? And Lincoln's Bible said, well, not to get all biblical, but there is an answer to that is consistent and not hypocritical. Both are the workings of Moloch. This is what idolatry leads to. Exactly. Child sacrifices. Ken Peters is sacrificing children to Moloch. And you have to remember, Greg Locke and Proud Boys are linked. So this person, Ruth Soder, will confirm it. So she talked to a Proud Boy at Planned Parenthood meeting with Greg Locke, who's another white supremacist, right? And I asked him, she asked a Proud Boy at a Planned Parenthood, and they said, oh yeah, the Proud Boys and Planned Parenthood are together. So they're together. They attacked me, so they don't care about Christian people, but they support white supremacists. Because remember, the church at Planned Parenthood is a white supremacist group. So she confirms that Greg Locke and Proud Boys are linked together. So people wonder, well, wait a minute, why are you so angry at the Proud Boys? Like, what's the deal? Why are you so angry at them? Why can't you just live and let live? Why can't you just be tolerant? What happened to the tolerant left? Remember the paradox of tolerance. This is the thing. The paradox of tolerance. All right. The paradox of tolerance states that if a society is tolerant without limit, its ability to be tolerant is eventually seized or destroyed by the intolerant. Karl Popper described it as the seemingly paradoxical idea that in order to maintain a tolerant society, the society must be intolerant of intolerance. Proud Boys are a bunch of Nazis. Proud Boys are a bunch of Nazis who conspired to overthrow the United States government. I am intolerant of intolerance. I'm intolerant of Nazis. If Nazis are associated with the church at Planned Parenthood, it means the church at Planned Parenthood are Nazis. They said so themselves. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees. Church and Planned Parenthood and Proud Boys are linked together. And we already know that the Proud Boys are a white supremacist group. And I just showed you how the Church at Planned Parenthood is a white supremacist group. Here, let me give you another example of how Greg is a white supremacist. Profile. I should have done this before, but I didn't realize I was going to murder Greg today. Greg and Ken. Not Greg so much as Ken. Where's Ken? Yeah, here it is. Bop. Okay, check this out. This is hilarious. Open with. So here we go. Pastor Ken Peters of his racist group talks about the amazing, I don't think Americans appreciate how insane of logistics it is to airlift a city out of the other side of the world. That's crazy. That's insane. Everyone's going to look back at this and be like, how do they do that? It's insane how many people we're airlifting out of that city. That's incredible. A city. What does Pastor Ken Peters look at? Because he's a white supremacist, right? Understand, Ken Peters is a white supremacist and a racist. So when he looks at the amazing job that the U.S. military is doing in rescuing all those refugees from Afghanistan, what does he see? He sees 10,000 or 100,000 airlifted from Afghanistan. Only 5,000 are Americans. Most of them are not vetted. That's a lie. He lies here. He lies and says most of them are not vetted. He lies. Then he says the left doesn't care about the danger. They see future votes. No, dude, we see future Americans. But you are a racist. So you go there right away. Because this is another example of a dog whistle, right? This is a way he can signal to his base of white supremacists that, hey guys, I'm a fellow white supremacist. Hello. He can signal to them without being attacked because he's not talking to me. I keep talking to Ken and he never talks back to me. He never responds to me. I'm not part of his group. I am not a white supremacist like he is. He doesn't care about me. I'm not in his group. But yeah, you can totally see how they wear sheep's clothing. They act as if they're Christian, but it's a white supremacist group that has nothing to do with Christianity. Nothing. Okay, what else is here? What is that? Don't even know what that is. Oh, here. Real quick. That's the truth. Donald Trump killed Ashley Babbitt. Donald Trump is the one that messed up her head so much she thought she could invade the Capitol, ignoring police officers the entire time, battling her way in, and think she can just walk in and without consequence. Donald Trump is the one who made her think that. Donald Trump is responsible. Remember how when our 13 service members died in that suicide bombing at Kabul airport, how the next day the U.S. military sent an over-the-horizon strike to kill the mastermind of that operation? Remember how we did that? We didn't go after the small little guys, the little peasants who like carried the bomb and gave it to the next guy. We didn't go after that guy. We went after, and we can't go after the guy who did the bomb because he's dead. We didn't go after the little people. We went after the mastermind, the guy who thought it up. That's who we sent the missile for. That's who we got the missile for. That's who got the missile. We didn't send it after the little people. We sent the missile after the mastermind, the man responsible, the person responsible. That's who we got. The person responsible. The person responsible. There's a missile. There's a heat-seeking missile coming right now for the person responsible. They don't know it. They can't see it because it's over the horizon, but it's coming. Just wait. Trump, not Biden, negotiated directly with the Taliban and excluded the Afghan government. Trump, not Biden, facilitated the release of 5,000 Afghan fighters from prison. Trump, not Biden, wanted to invite the Taliban to Camp David on the anniversary of 9/11. Trump, not Biden, refused to brief the incoming administration's transition team on the Afghan situation. Trump, not Biden, bragged that he didn't need an exit strategy in Afghanistan. Trump, not Biden, boasted that the troop withdrawal he set in motion could not be stopped. Afghanistan is another Trump failure. I would say a lot of that problem rests on Biden, but Biden isn't trying to pass the buck. Biden's saying, yeah, I fucked up. Yep, I fucked up. You fucked up, Biden, but you admit it. Okay. Because he did, right? This shit's fucked. Like, I don't understand why we didn't start taking people out months ago. And why did we wait at the very, very, very last second? But I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. So I can't really say. I'm just amazed that the U.S. military could get so many people out in such a short time from air, by air. Not by ground, but by air. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the abandoned equipment. What did we leave behind in Afghanistan? 22,000 Humvees, 8,000 trucks, 600 something. What are these? Like, I don't even know what those are. Armored personnel carriers, I guess. I don't know. Radios, mine-proof vehicles, so IEDs can't blow these up. So if the Taliban tried to blow these up, a bunch of night vision goggles. That's that's an armored personnel carrier. Okay, well, I don't know what that is then up there. A bunch of guns. I don't think they had a problem with guns. A bunch of trucks. A bunch of pistols. Oh, that's going to be lame. A bunch of heavy machine guns. Oh, crap. A bunch of artillery. So all this stuff I don't think matters because, like, can they fly planes? I don't think they ever used to. They never had an air force. Who cares? They're not going to use this stuff. And besides, the maintenance is going to render this inoperable pretty soon because without support, all this stuff is going to go to hell anyways. So, like, a lot of this stuff isn't a big deal. Because, like, without support, like, what do you do when the tire goes flat? You can't get a replacement tire. It's done. Your thing's done. So yeah, Afghanistan, dude. I'm glad to get out of there. I'll be glad when we're done. I think we got a couple more days left. That's like yeah. And they're trying, dude. Did you hear? Like, they blew up a truck, a suicide truck, on the way to the airport, and it's gonna be a long couple days. What? Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. What time is it? It's about an hour. I don't have any. I have like almost like nothing new to show you in Minecraft. I don't know. I think things are. I think in winter it's gonna like the next update's gonna come out, and that's gonna be that'll make this whole game brand new again, because yeah, it'll be brand new with the new update. I think that's what it is. It's just like I'm kind of just in a holding pattern for now. So okay, America. I guess we're just gonna hang out, right? Just keep working at it bit by bit. Keep at it. Until next time. PoGoKero out. Peace. Stop.